I wanted to take a break in the middle of a project I'm working on this morning where I'm dealing with a problem, which I think when you hear what the problem is, you'll agree it's just a problem, not an actual problem, in that our chicken composting system here in the frigid middle of February with an icy rain coming down, midwinter, is actually at a point where it's over-yielded compost. What that means to me is that basically more compost has come out of the system than I know what to do with for the middle of winter. So I've taken our sled and I've moved out maybe 40 sled loads, which is about 40 wheelbarrow loads of compost. I've dragged it into our high tunnels and I added about a foot of soil in most of our high tunnels. I've brought it around and piled it around our shrubs to give them fertilization. I've added it to wood chip piles, and still there's more. And the reason I need to move it is because our system depends on me being able to turn the compost down through the system, to fold it over and allow the chickens access to new areas. If you're not familiar with our system, watch our other videos. I'll link to them. What I think is interesting here is that this is the I think it's coming into the fourth season that we've had these chickens, and there's no way at the beginning I would have designed our system exactly this way. It's the iterative process of the permaculture principle of observe and interact that's gotten us to this point where we have this problem where even in the winter, on an incredibly cold and very snowy winter, our chickens and ourselves are generating more compost than we literally know what to do with. And what we've also found is that by having access to more free sources of organic matter and organic kitchen scraps and the like, our cost of raising these chickens has actually gone down. So we made a video last year of 25 chickens, 25 cents a day. We now have closer to 40 plus chickens, and I would guess it's closer to 10 cents a day that it actually costs us. And so a real win for the permaculture principle of setting a system in motion and making adjustments over time. If you go back through our videos, you'll notice that it wasn't like this at the origin. This evolved from feedback from the system, and I'm sure it'll evolve further. So right now I'm going to get back to taking this compost, and basically I need to stockpile it. And so I'm going to fill this ring with compost, and I'll insulate it with hay bales and let it rest till the spring. More likely than not, this system will generate an equal amount of full compost for me to take out in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm a little bit nervous with this many chickens and this much organic matter coming in, how we're going to be able to keep up with the sheer volume of compost that it generates this summer in exchange for meat and eggs and almost no money. Good problems to design for. I think there's a point that I want to make here that I believe I touched on in the video, but I really want to make sure is crystal clear, that in a lot of permaculture concepts, they suggest that you need a full design, fully resolved, fully figured out and developed before you begin. And I'm learning in my life that it's actually not true, and in some ways, trying to commit to a full, perfectly realized design before you implement anything is a really great way to not get started. And so I would encourage people, if you're just getting into all this, consider the permaculture principle of start where you are and just begin and then make adjustments based on what you're learning. I have no formal training in this, and we only had a goal set in mind of wanting high quality eggs for low cost when we started, and the system has built itself in a lot of ways into what you see now, which is highly functional and self-organized, and our amount of interaction is, we're still involved, but it's working on its own in a beautiful way. And there's now potential for income selling eggs if we wanted to, selling meat, selling compost if we wanted to. We have a friend who's now collecting compost, and he's getting earning income to collect that compost, and he dumps it into our system. So micro enterprise is able to tag on to this well. And so it's just an important thing of beginning and then letting the system teach you what it can do. So that's my encouragement if you're just getting into this. And thank you for watching.